So I'm here to demystify all the truth about being in your 20s. And I really hope you're going to enjoy this video, guys. If you want to know those truths, so stay tuned. The first truth is it's work. It's work and it takes time. So you see a really tall building like the Shard or anything else like that, these buildings take time. Why do they take time to build? Because when they first start, they take about 3 or 4 months and you don't see anything. You don't see anything. Why? Because they're digging the foundation. They're digging the foundation, which is going to be the most essential part of the building. And one of the most important things that I have learned about being in my 20s is that this is foundational. This decade is a foundational decade. And to a lot of people, it may seem like there is nothing going on. But let me tell you the truth. These years are the most essential, imperative years that you will go through. So the second truth I found out about being in my 20s is how to run your race with endurance. But one of the funny things, I was searching up online, what are the comparisons or the differences rather between a race, a sprint and a marathon? And one of the things that I found when I was searching online was the fact that in a marathon, participants are trained and are advised to conserve energy for the hardest parts of the race. And for me, this was like a really big one because I thought like, wow, okay, I think this is one thing that we learn to do in life. Like I said, it really relates back to the last one, that this is your foundational year, because being your foundational year, you're going to find that you're going to have to prepare for some things that are to come in life, both mentally, spiritually, physically, life skills and all of that. And so learning that your 20s are a time for you to prepare for that, and learning that your 20s are a time for you to basically conserve energy for the hardest parts of the race. And while you're conserving that energy, what you can be doing is basically learning those skills that you need for that period of time. So the third truth that I have realized about being in my 20s is that your race and your journey is your own. You're the only one who will walk in your shoes. You're the only one who knows what it's like to carry your vision, your burden, your experiences, and all the other things that life takes you through. You are unique in that sense. And so being unique in that sense, one of the important things that you need to remember is that nobody else will walk in your shoes apart from you. And so as much as guidance from friends, from family, from individuals, from elders is imperative and advised to live a full life, you also need to gain some grit. I had to gain some grit. I had to be audacious about the things that I wanted to go after and the visions and the dreams that God had put on my heart. And I had to chase after that with reckless abandon, because I'm the only one that is going to be walking in my shoes. And so at the end of life, when I get to the end and God asks me, what did you do with the gifts and the talents? I want to make sure that I have used those to the best of my ability. Therefore, it serves nobody for me to hide those away in order to please other people. No. That could be the worst possible decision that you could make about your life. So the sooner you realize that, the better. Honor your mother and father, that your days may be long, but don't forget that you are the only one that God has put the vision in their heart. Yeah, if that makes sense. The fourth one is your character means much more to God than your comfort. And I am currently experiencing this. Every day that we wake up, every day that we make the decision to get up out of our bed, we're going to be faced with so many choices. And in those choices, we have the ability to choose character over comfort, to not slide back into our old ways and our old habits of thinking, but one, to renew our minds, two, to do better, know better, do better, and all the other amazing sayings that go along with that. So yeah, life might throw everything at you and it might come at you with the full force, but I think it's so important in those times to have those things that ground you and that help you to get back to center and to remain in a mind frame of sanity, because I know how it is when life hits you, whether it's externally or internally. Doing things like journaling, reading the word, praying, going for a walk, all these kind of things are things that you can do to help you stay centered and grounded, and they're actually things that practices that I try to do myself, that I know are call-ons when I am in a place of hardship. I heard this expression that says it was a character building day. So instead of saying it's a bad day, say it's a character building day, because when things don't go right, it's a chance to build character, isn't it? And I know it's so easy to talk these things, but when we go through it, it's like a different story altogether. But yeah, going back and asking yourself again, what is it that you want? What do you want to do? What does God want for you? The way that I tend to read books is I generally read chapters that mean something to me, and of course all the highlighting and all that good stuff. As you can see, this chapter is called Emotional Honesty, and she says, one of the most challenging things to do is be honest with our emotions. Before we can be honest, we have to understand and accept our emotions are perfectly okay to have. Have you ever seen a person who is happy but somehow forgotten to tell their face? Being sincere and speaking our truth with honor can be challenging for various reasons. However, it is one of the most freeing things we could ever do. How is your heart doing? Excuse me, what does that mean? Have you ever asked yourself, how is your heart doing? That's quite deep, right? I know. How is your heart doing? And for me, when you come to those character building places, being able to stop and ask yourself those questions. I know myself, along with Lavender in this video that I wrote, I don't really know how I'm feeling until things get really rock bottom low. Like when I ask myself those questions, I have to really sit down with myself, because I can easily brush things off and be like, yeah, I'm okay, and keep moving forward without really addressing the issue. So emotional honesty is so important, and asking ourselves how we're doing and understanding that our emotions are okay to have. We were built with emotions for a reason. So remembering that is important. The next one, guys, I'm sure you guys will all agree with me, is that school is a poor training ground for life. I loved my school experience. I'm sure that Deborah, that Demi, that Dorinda will tell you school was a place for fun, school was a place for drama, school was a place for so many other things, but one of the things that they didn't teach us is basic life skills. And I mean, most of us, you guys just like right now this video, if you agree with that sentiment that life hit you like a ton of bricks when you left uni and adulting became the hardest thing known to man. Just like this video if you share my sentiments on that. Yeah, so one of the examples I can give with that is finance. When I went to uni, I was looking back the other day on some of the notes that I had written and stuff, and I was proper meticulous. I'm proud of myself, writing all the things that I needed in the list and blah, blah, blah. Again, like this video if you were one of those. Did you write a list or did you just wing it? Tell me in the comments. And I think that set the training ground. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about, he actually gave me this piece of advice on how to divide your money and how to basically budget. And it was the 60-10-10-10 rule, 60, 70, 80, 90, 60 and 10 falls rule, 60-10-10-10-10 rule. Yeah, okay, it's here. 60-10-10-10-10-10 rule basically is 60% for bills, 10% for tithe, 10% for offering, 10% investing, and 10% saving. And that is what took me into uni. I kind of lost my way a bit recently. Being in and out of then cash flow can do that to you, because when the money comes, maybe it goes straight back out to bills and stuff. But I found myself getting back into it now, and it is a fantastic and amazing way to basically divide up your finances into important sectors. I think these are one and the same. Plans are subject to change. Plans are subject to change, guys. Life has its twists and turns, and that's perfectly okay. I might have a plan on where I see myself going, and it's important. Plans are important. The Bible asks us to write down our visions. It's important. But I'm learning that you have to be able to hold the vision close enough to keep focused and keep going. You have to hold the vision close enough to keep focused and keep going, but again, loose enough to be able to allow God to direct that. And it's a time that right now I'm really taking to sit down and give God those visions and those plans and everything else, to be able to do what he wishes, so that, you know, I can, especially in the inception stage, you want to be able to bring God in, and you want him to be your business partner and tell you what it is that you need to be doing. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's the video. Tell me what is the number one truth that you realize about being in your 20s, if you're in your 20s, or if you're in your 30s. Let me know what's the number one truth that you learned about being in your 30s, or number one truth that you reminisce about being in your 20s. What would you say to the millennial 20-year-olds? What tip or advice would you give them about entering into their 20s? You know the YouTube drill. Subscribe, comment, and share. Let some 20-year-olds know, actually let some teenagers know the truths of being in your 20s, so that they can adequately prepare themselves like we were unprepared. Let's not continue the cycle of being unprepared, guys. I really again hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Bye.